Mark Rogers TV going to the Big Ten to break down positional units across the conference. We stop in Happy Valley with Eli Moreta-Feliz, Black Shoe Diaries, breaking down Penn State positional units for us. Eli, thanks for hopping on board.
Thank you.
So it's linebacker U. So we expect a lot. Brandon Bell delivered last season 12.5 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. So maybe start with him because he is obviously the star player there. And the production that you've got coming back from 2015.
Yes. So the way I describe the linebacker group this year is that they are the true definition of linebacker U. And as you said, Brandon Bell is a stud. Last season he changed his number to number 11 to kind of carry on the tradition. And he didn't disappoint. He had a good season. He was injured for a few games, but even with those injuries, even not having played all 13 games, he still had a season worthy of the expectations that are set on him for this year. And he actually played a lot of the year with an injury, and he was still able to be dominant, running pretty much from side to side to end to end, and he embodies everything that it is to be a linebacker at Penn State, and that's both on and off the field.
Eli, a number of other contributions here. Jason Cabinda almost had 100 tackles as a sophomore, so he was all over the place as well. Jonathan Thomas, you've got some recent news on him.
Yes. So Jonathan Thomas started out as a running back for the team. It was just announced today that he's actually going to move to linebacker. And given that our three starters at linebacker are as good as anyone in the league, but the depth behind those three is lacking at this point. So having a guy that has been with the program and has proven that he's able to carry the load, go into a position of need is actually very good. And it's also going to be not only a benefit for the team, but a benefit for him, right? Given that what we talked about running backs before, there's very little chance he sees the field as a running back, but now that he's a linebacker, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for him to see the field and demonstrate that he's able to perform as well.
So for those folks out there that are trying to prep for Penn State or just about anybody across the country and look at the rosters and look at the stats from last season, you'll see that Troy Reeder had an outstanding freshman campaign with 66 stops and an interception, 5.5 tackles for loss, but he has transferred despite that kind of success at Penn State as a freshman, transferred to Delaware. Manny Bowen comes in, Ellie, as a top 15 outside linebacker in the 2015 class, and he should get some playing time as well.
Oh, definitely. So with the injuries that happened last season, where all three of the projected starters for the season were out at one point or another, guys like Manny Bowen went in and demonstrated that they were ready for a big role with the linebacking core as true freshmen. He got better as the season progressed, and you could tell that he truly will command a spot on the team this season with his performance, especially against Georgia in the Tax Slayer Bowl.
Okay. Anybody else there that we need to look out for?
Definitely Naeem Wartman-White. Although he went down against Temple in the first game of the season last season, the difference when he was on the field just in that game and when he wasn't on the field was definitely palpable. And in a way, all of these injuries, especially his, forced Jason Cabinda to take over the middle linebacker spot, gave him more experience, and it also forced other people to kind of join in, kind of like, Manny Bowen. But what Naeem has that is going to not only does he have the leadership because he's been with the team since 2012, but every season, this is a pretty good statistic, kind of like one of those pieces of information, useless knowledge, I guess. Every year, Naeem Wortman-White has doubled his tackles for loss and his just total tackles. So, for example, in 2012, I think he had 32 tackles and like 15 tackles for loss. And then in 2013, he had like 75 tackles. And it was, he is a monster. And if he's able to avoid injury this season, he's going to have a great year.
Okay. If you're looking at the recruiting rankings for the last couple of years, you'll notice Cameron Brown was the top 15 outside linebacker in 2016. Penn State doesn't know exactly whether they're going to fit the Maryland product, so he may not fit in necessarily as a linebacker at this point. Linebacker U, Penn State living up to the tradition we expect in 2016 with a pretty fine core led by, of course, Brandon Bell. Eli Moreta-Feliz, Black Shoe Diaries, helping us out on Penn State at linebacker. Eli, we appreciate the time.
Thank you.